Kia ora all, it's Ruthie in New Zealand, and today we are in Whanganui. Whanganui is a very pretty city, and it's known for its large collection of artists, writers and musicians. It's also a historically important place due to the Whanganui River, which is New Zealand's third longest river and New Zealand's longest navigable river. And as such, it played a key role in the story of New Zealand, with many explorers, traders and pioneers finding it very useful. If you think about it, a really big river is the closest thing you've got to a highway when you're settling a country, so it was very important. But today we're not here for history, we're here for things like strawberries and ice cream and parks that look like they ought to be in fairy tales. So do join me as we explore the beautiful town of Whanganui. So the first thing we did when we got into Whanganui is we drove to our accommodation, and it was really special accommodation actually. We stayed at a place called Braemar House, and it was a beautiful old New Zealand villa. Very, very beautiful, and it says here on the website that it was built as a private residence and now operates as a welcoming bed and breakfast and hostel. And honestly, it must have been enormous as a private home, because there were heaps and heaps of room in there, and it was really, really beautiful. And I'm so glad we stayed there, and the hosts were charming. Really, really good experience, extremely beautiful. And the other thing too I'll say about it is that I mean, some people think this is just weird, but if you're watching my YouTube channel, you'll know I'm not strictly normal. I am very sensitive to spirits in old houses, and this house had a beautiful, beautiful feeling to it. There was nothing in there that made you kind of want to run shrieking out into the night. We actually stayed in the accommodation out the back, in some little old building out the back that had been turned into bedrooms, and it was absolutely charming. But I'm not going to show you pictures of that, because by the time I thought to film it, we had opened our suitcases all over the place, and I just think it's a really mean and nasty thing to do when you go and stay somewhere, to trash it with all your travel things and then say, oh, look where we stayed, this is what it looks like. I mean, I wouldn't want someone to do that to me if I owned a bed and breakfast, so I'm not going to do it. Anyway, it was absolutely beautiful, and I will put a link below in case you're interested in staying there yourself if you happen to be in Whanganui for a holiday. And as ever, these are not paid placements, it's just New Zealand is my home, and I really like to share it with you. After we got settled in, we pootled out to get some dinner. We decided to have Chinese takeaways. Chinese takeaways in New Zealand tends to be pretty good, and this was delicious. And we went to have it at a place called Kowhai Park, which I absolutely loved. And I didn't understand when we were driving into Whanganui why Mum kept saying, oh, we must take Ruth to Kowhai Park, we must go to that park, Ruth will love that park. And I thought, well, that's very nice, but I mean, right, I do like kids' parks, but I'm not that juvenile. But when we got there, I realised why they knew I'd love it, because it's got all of these giant statues from nursery rhymes and that sort of thing. So obviously it was just my cup of tea, and I had a marvellous time, because where else am I going to find a giant shoe and a giant pumpkin and well, you might as well just have a look. I think there's too many things to talk about, so I'll just let you have a little look. if you want to see some more of this park and the wonderful playground, you should check out the vlog of Rachel, which is very different from this video, and I have been reliably informed is hilarious. So by all means check that out. It's on this YouTube channel, but it's quite different because my sister and I are very different people, although we get on very well. So check that out if you want a good laugh. And after our delicious picnic tea and our wonderful time in that marvellous playground, it was time to go back to Braemar House, where we had an excellent night's sleep. Well, before that we made a late night run to the local supermarket and loaded up with all our favourite New Zealand snacks and gorged ourselves silly. But I'm sure you don't want to see that, and even if you do want to see it, you're jolly well not going to see it. So we had a good night's sleep, and in the morning we got up for the next part of our adventure. Thing is, you guys, New Zealand is my home. It's not just a beautiful holiday destination. So when I'm there, sometimes things that are quite personally significant happen, and I don't really think I should put them on a vlog, but because I think the best way to lose friends and relations is to turn them into free content for the internet. Nevertheless, I do feel the need to thank someone very, very important for our visit in this part of New Zealand. So I am just going to say Anne of Green Gables is one of my most favourite characters ever, which happens to be true on the literary level, but it's also my way of thanking someone very special without hopefully turning them into free content. So yes, Anne of Green Gables is one of my favourite characters ever. Across the Whanganui River there's a special bridge built for cyclists as part of the Mountains to Sea cycle trail, which is really beautiful, but I don't think I'm ever going to be doing it anytime soon because, you guys, I'm an artist and frankly holding up my fiddle is a little too physically strenuous for my taste. And honestly, what's wrong with cars? But I will say I did look at some of the footage of the bike trail on another YouTube channel, and I will try and put a link below if you're into that kind of thing, because I have to admit New Zealand is really beautiful. I just don't think I'm going to be experiencing it on an arduous bike trip. Just not really my thing. And as I say, what's wrong with cars? Because cars can take you to wonderfully special places like the Whanganui berry farm. Oh yes, with things like pancakes and ice cream and berries. And yes, you see how much nicer that is than an arduous cycle track. It's alright, you can admit it. You're among friends. I will not judge you. So I looked up the Whanganui Berry Farm website, and I shall attempt to put a link below, and I read their menu because, hey, what's more interesting than a menu? And they do all sorts of things there. They do coffee and muffins and scones. Most things seem to be berry themed from what I can remember, and they have a range of gluten-free options, so I know that'll work for some of you because quite a few of my friends are gluten intolerant, so they've got you covered. It's only open during the warmer months, so you need to check ahead of time, but yeah, it was really good. And they do pancakes and they do coffee and they do all sorts of delicious things, so yes, do check them out. You will not be sorry. I am sorry, however, that I didn't get you a picture of the absolutely enormous berry ice creams they're making on the site, but I didn't. But I'll tell you, they were absolutely huge, and you should go and you won't be sorry.